Picture this. You're sailing us crystal blue waters. The sun is shining. Your instruments read to be perfectly normal. And then, nothing. You vanish without a trace.
Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into one of the ocean's greatest mysteries, the Bermuda Triangle, a place where ships and planes have disappeared for decades, leaving behind nothing but questions and theories. I'm going to show you the real science behind these disappearances, the most famous cases that still baffle investigators.
And most importantly, what modern sailors do to stay safe when crossing through this notorious stretch of ocean.
If you're new here, hit that subscribe button because we explore the most fascinating maritime mysteries every week. Let's get into it. So first things first, where exactly is the Bermuda Triangle?
It's a region in the western part of the North Atlantic Ocean, roughly bounded by 3 points: Miami, Florida, Bermuda, and San Juan, Puerto Rico.
That's roughly 500,000 square miles of open ocean. To put that in perspective, that's about the size of Alaska.
In a magazine article. Before that, sailors just called it the Devil's Triangle, or avoided talking about it altogether.
It is a magazine article. Before that, sailors just called it the Devil's Triangle, or avoided talking about it altogether.
The legend really exploded in 1974 when Charles Berlitz published his best-selling book, The Bermuda Triangle,
claiming that over 1,000 lives had been lost there in the previous 26 years alone. The book sparked global fascination and fear.
But here's the thing, the U.S. Coast Guard doesn't even recognize the Bermuda Triangle as a real hazard zone. They don't keep special statistics on it.
To them, it's just another part of the ocean.
So why all the mystery? Let's look at what actually happened to these ships.
Let me walk you through some of the most famous cases that built this legend.
This is the single largest loss of life in U.S. naval history not related to combat. The USS Cyclops was a massive Navy cargo ship, 542 feet long, carrying over 300 people and 11,000 tons of manganese ore.
She left Barbados on March 4, 1918, heading for Baltimore. The ship was never seen again.
No distress signal, no wreckage, no bodies. 309 people just gone.
Theories range from structural failure, SAM, the ship was overloaded SAES, to German submarine attacks during World War I.
But we still don't know for sure.
Now this one really cemented the Triangle's reputation.
5 U.S. Navy torpedo bombers took off from Fort Lauderdale on a routine training mission.
The weather was perfect. The pilots were experienced.
About 90 minutes into the flight, the flight leader radioed that their compasses weren't working.
We don't know which way is west. Everything is wrong, strange. Even the ocean doesn't look as it should.
They were never found. The rescue plane sent to find them, that disappeared too. 6 aircraft, 27 men, vanished. A 524-foot tanker carrying molten sulfur. She radioed her position near the Florida Keys and was never heard from again. The Coast Guard searched 350,000 square miles. They found life jackets, debris. But no bodies. No explanation.
I could go on. The Witchcraft in 1967 vanished just 1 mile from Miami. The cargo ship SS El Faro in 2015, though we found that wreckage later. Dozens of smaller vessels and pleasure boats.
The pattern seemed impossible to ignore. Something was happening in these waters.
So what's really going on? Let's separate the conspiracy theories from the science. Theory number 1. Methane gas hydrates.
Scientists at Cardiff University proposed that massive methane bubbles erupting from the ocean floor could literally sink ships. The gas reduces the water's density, causing vessels to lose buoyancy and plunge straight down.
There's evidence of methane deposits in the region, and lab experiments show this is physically possible. But we've never
actually witnessed this happening to a ship.
These are massive waves, sometimes over 100 feet tall, that appear seemingly out of nowhere in open ocean.
Satellite data has confirmed these monsters are real and more common than we thought. The Bermuda Triangle sits in a major shipping lane where the Gulf Stream and other currents collide. Perfect conditions for rogue waves. These could absolutely overwhelm even large vessels within seconds. Here's the less exciting but probably most accurate explanation. The Bermuda Triangle is a heavily traveled area with unpredictable weather.
We're talking sudden storms, waterspouts, hurricanes.
So if you're a sailor or cruiser planning to cross the Bermuda Triangle, what do modern mariners actually do to stay safe?
Today's vessels don't rely on magnetic compasses anymore. GPS systems, satellite navigation, and multiple redundant instruments mean you always know exactly where you are. Even if one system fails, you've got backups.
Modern ships have real-time access to detailed weather forecasts, storm tracking, and wave height predictions.
Captains can see hurricanes forming days in advance and route around them.
This is HUG. Most historic disappearances happened because ships sailed straight into storms they didn't know were coming.
Modern ships are built with advanced materials, computer-aided design, and strict safety regulations. They can handle much rougher seas than vessels from 50 or 100 years ago. Cruise ships especially have redundant engines, stabilizers, and watertight compartments that make sinking extremely unlikely.
So what's the truth about the Bermuda Triangle?
It's a heavily trafficked stretch of ocean with challenging weather, strong currents, and a history that's been sensationalized by writers and Hollywood. The real mystery isn't why ships disappear there, Nokia. It's why we're so drawn to the idea that they do. Maybe it's because the ocean is one of the last truly wild places on Earth. A reminder that despite all our technology, nature can still surprise us. The disappearances that did happen were tragic. Real people lost their lives. And while we might never know exactly what happened to the USS Cyclops or Flight 19, we honor those lost by learning from those incidents and making modern travel safer. Today, crossing the Bermuda Triangle is routine, boring even. Thousands of ships and planes do it every day without incident. The legend lives on. But the danger? That's mostly in our imagination. Drop a comment and let me know. Do you believe there's still something unexplained about the Bermuda Triangle, or is it all just natural phenomena and coincidence?